The American musical Hadestown, music and lyrics by Anais Mitchell, has reshaped the world of musical theater as we know it. And in my personal opinion, it is one of the greatest pieces of musical theater produced to this day. The story is set in a post-Depression world and follows two parallel love stories between Orpheus, the young musician, and Eurydice, the nymph, and Hades, god of the underworld, and Persephone, goddess of spring. Now, I saw Hadestown in March of 2022 in New York City with much of the original cast, and let me tell you, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I mean, I couldn't recover for about a week after. But there was one question that I was asking myself at intermission, and I still ask myself today, and that is, what makes a king? Is it wealth, legitimacy, power, wisdom, character? I mean, there were so many things in play. And Patrick Page's performance was absolutely incredible, don't get me wrong, but it was the fact that it was so incredible that made it so hard to decipher what Hades' motives were, why he was doing all of the things that he did. So, today I'm going to try to answer that question by comparing Hades' two most influential songs, and those are Why We Build the Wall and His Kiss the Riot. Why We Build the Wall is the Act 1 closer sung by Hades, and it's basically one big call and response speech between Hades and his people. So Hades asks the question, why do we build the wall, my children, why do we build the wall? And their response is, why do we build the wall? We build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free. And he goes on to ask, how does the wall keep us free? And they say that the wall keeps out the enemy. And he asks who the enemy is, and they say the enemy is poverty, which is very ironic. And Hades continues on and talks about how the poor and impoverished want what they have got, which is their work on the wall. So before I get into the analysis of the lyrics, I want to talk about the music theory, because I am a musician by trade, and I have the vocal selection book. So when I open to Why We Build the Wall, the first thing I notice is that this song is in G minor, and minor keys are seen as more sad or dark and gloomy, while major keys are seen as more happy or hopeful. And the main thing I notice, and keep in mind that this song is like a solid 4 minutes long, is that it only has 4 chords. That's it. I mean, they don't change ever. Well, technically 3, because it's G minor, F sus2, C over E, then back to G minor. And that's all it is. It just keeps going from G minor, F, C over E, G minor, F, C. It keeps going. And it never changes. So I think Anais is doing something here. With these same 4 chords over and over and over again, she is conveying the message that nothing changes. Nothing ever changes in Hadestown. Hades always has the same rules. Poverty is the enemy, and wealth and riches and work and obedience is the answer. And usually songs have bridges or verses or choruses. This is all one big chorus. People hear the question, they respond, and if they say anything otherwise, they die. And Hades keeps going. He talks about the wall and how it keeps out the enemy, which is poverty. But the only person in Hadestown who isn't poor is Hades himself. Every other person is as poor as the dirt they were literally buried in. So overall, Hades uses this song to justify his actions and to use propaganda and fear to make his people obey his law. Now, His Kiss the Riot is a completely different story. I mean, it's almost the polar opposite of Why We Build the Wall. So in the scene before, Orpheus sings his now finished song for Hades, and it is so beautiful that it reminds Hades of the love that he lost with Persephone. And Hades and Persephone end up dancing with each other. I mean, it's one of the first times in the entire show where they actually don't fight. But then Orpheus asks Hades if he and Eurydice can go. And in this song, Hades is conflicted between whether or not he should let them go or keep them. Hades says, "Dangerous this jack of hearts, with his kiss the riot starts." So he's talking about if he lets Orpheus and Eurydice go, he has to let everyone else in Hadestown go. And before this song, the Fates sing to Hades and talk about this very conflict. And they say, if you tell him no, oh, you're a heartless man, and you're gonna have a martyr on your hands. Right? Hades has found love again, and he really doesn't want to be a cruel king. If you let him go, oh, you're a spineless king, and you're never gonna get them in line again. If he lets them go, he knows that everyone else will defy him, and the kingdom will fall for a song. Now, this song musically is all over the place. I mean, there are accordions in the background, and bells, and whispering, and everything is out of time, and there's no sense of rhythm or pitch. It's just all one big whirlwind of sound, and it's supposed to represent Hades' mind because he doesn't know what to do. And there is one specific part in this song that stands out the most to me, and it's dangerous this jack of hearts. Right, dangerous this jack is a chromatic scale going down. So the chromatic scale is just half steps, and when Hades sings this from half step, half step, half step, half step, it's really showing the slow downward spiral of everything that he's built and everything that has happened to build up to this moment. So there are a lot of differences between both of these songs, but the main similarity is the overarching theme of power and the lengths Hades goes to maintain it. As for the main question of what makes a king, I still don't know. But I do know what makes a good one. A good king has integrity and virtue, but most importantly, compassion and love for his people.